If you fell in love with this city decades ago, the name Bally's Las Vegas likely holds a special place in your memory. It was a place that welcomed us with warmth, fair prices, and a prime location right in the center of the action. But today, that familiar name has been completely erased. Replacing it is a brand new sign, Horseshoe Las Vegas. The corporation in charge promises that this change will bring back old Vegas, that classic, generous spirit of the Binion family, right to the heart of the modern Strip. They paint a picture of nostalgia and authentic value. But do not be too quick to believe those polished advertisements. The truth is much harsher. When you step inside this renamed Las Vegas Strip hotel, you will not find a soul of the past. What greets you instead is a maze of unreasonable charges that Americans call Las Vegas hidden fees, along with cold rooms designed to maximize profit, not for rest. Today, we are going to peel back the layers of this deal. This is not just a story about a name change. This is a story of how corporate greed killed a reliable old friend of the middle class. In January 2022, Caesars Entertainment announced a major change. Bally's will be rebranded as Horseshoe Las Vegas. For loyal customers, Bally's have been more than just a hotel for decades. It was a dependable old friend. It wasn't glamorous, but it was authentic, known for its affordable prices, spacious rooms, and an unbeatable central location. Along with the name change, the World Series of Poker would also move here, bringing with it a grand promise. Caesars declared it was bringing the legendary Horseshoe brand back to the Las Vegas Strip, evoking the spirit of its founder Benny Binion. Respecting the player and delivering real value, they promised a multi-million-dollar renovation, new world-class restaurants, and a completely refreshed casino. For many, there was a spark of hope that this wasn't the end of a familiar place, but a promising evolution. But if the promise was better value and an upgraded experience, the reality was a shock, and that was the first betrayal. The official transition took place, and as the initial excitement faded, a harsh reality began to emerge, confirmed by data from Expedia, Agoda, TripAdvisor complaints, and Caesar's own financial reports. This was not an evolution. For many, it was a series of calculated betrayals. Betrayal number one, the war on your wallet. The original Horseshoe philosophy was to provide value, but the new Horseshoe seemed to be heading in the complete opposite direction. Customer reviews from 2023 to 2025 are flooded with complaints about hidden fees and soaring prices, which many bluntly call a scam. Parking fees, which were often free for locals of the old Bally's, are now $20 a day for self-parking on weekdays and up to $40 for valet services. Only platinum level and higher Caesars rewards members get free parking. Added to this is a heavily criticized resort fee, ranging from $50 to $56.63 per night. Although this fee supposedly includes Wi-Fi and gym access, a majority of guests find it offers absolutely no value, a stark contrast to the budget-friendly spirit of the original Binions. Even the new steakhouse, Jack Binion Steak, despite bearing the name of Benny's son, features prices that are purely in the squeeze-em-dry style of the modern Las Vegas Strip, with an average entree price of $50 to $70. Caesars Q2 2025 report shows this strategy aims to boost revenue per available room, RevPAR, to offset an $82 million loss, despite a 13.8% year-over-year revenue decline. The customer reaction was immediate and negative. On forums like Yelp and TripAdvisor, 30% of 1- and 2-star reviews mentioned that hidden fees killed all the value. One YouTube reviewer in 2025 shared, "The prices skyrocketed. We had to cancel our dinner plans because we were so shocked by the bill." As a result, local visitor traffic has dropped by 12%. Betrayal number two, a lipstick on a pig's hole. The second betrayal is the atmosphere. Bally's may have been old, but it was cozy and had character. The multi-million-dollar renovation in 2022 brought new carpets and wallpaper, but kept the aging structure of the 1973 MGM building. The result is a space that customers call cold, generic, like a hospital. The phrase "lipstick on a pig" went viral on Reddit and TripAdvisor, with hotels' rating dropped from 4.0 to 3.5/5 stars. This was an admission that the renovation was merely superficial, lacking deep investment. One of the most controversial changes was the removal of the downstairs sportsbook to make way for an arcade. This move stripped away the cozy marketplace vibe that defined Bally's, signaling a shift in the target audience. Data from Placer.ai showed that foot traffic on the Las Vegas Strip decreased by 10.6% in the first quarter of 2025, and this change undoubtedly contributed. A YouTube video titled Horseshoe Disappearing 2025 attracted tens of thousands of views with heartbreaking comments like, "The once vibrant Bally's has become a ghost town right in the middle of the Strip. Betrayal number 3, when the customer is no longer king." This is where the difference between promise and reality is most stark. The promise of a place for the player has been buried under countless stories of terrible customer service. The Better Business Bureau recorded over 50 complaints in 2025 alone regarding 1 to 2 hour waits at check-in, with one customer calling it the longest wait experience ever. The nearly half-mile walk from the parking garage to the main lobby only adds to the exhaustion. One YouTuber described it as a 3 to 5 hour mess from garage to the room. Felt like we were abandoned. The problems continued inside the rooms. Dirty windows, broken air conditioning, and more alarmingly, security concerns. One review recounted a stranger trying to break into their room twice at 3 a.m. The root cause is believed to be Caesars cutting 15% of its staff to prioritize high rollers. Even longtime WSOP fans feel alienated. They complain that while the poker room is crowded, support services are slow, and it no longer feels as welcoming as it used to, causing many to move to off-strip casinos. Caesars' own report admitted that customer loyalty has dropped by 15%. The groups hit hardest are those who once considered Bally's a second home: Nevada locals over 50, value-seeking tourists, and loyal poker players. Now, they feel completely ignored as Caesars focuses on mega projects. 73% of Yelp users have declared they will not return, and for them, the betrayal is all too clear. I have a quick question for you. Have you ever had a similar disappointing experience at a Vegas hotel? Share your story in the comments. I'd really love to hear it. The answer lies in a strange fact. There are two completely different Bally's companies, and the name game behind the disappearance of Bally's Las Vegas is confirmed by multiple reputable sources like the Review Journal, PR Newswire, and Wikipedia from 2020 to 2024. First, let's talk about the key brand transaction. On October 13, 2020, Caesars Entertainment sold the entire ownership of the Bally's brand to a company called Twin River Worldwide Holdings. Twin River then renamed itself Bally's Corporation and used the brand for its resort in Atlantic City and its other properties. Under the agreement, Caesars retained a perpetual license to use the Bally's name at its Las Vegas Strip location. However, as the company's strategy shifted, they were forced to rename it Horseshoe Las Vegas by the end of 2022. Thus, this rebranding wasn't an effort to revive Bally's, but a mandatory business move. But here's where the story gets more interesting. While Caesars was turning the old Bally's into the Horseshoe, the Bally's Corporation, the new owner of the name, made a huge move. In April 2021, they announced the acquisition of the legendary Tropicana Las Vegas resort for $148 million for its non-land assets. The fate of the Tropicana was sealed. After 67 years of operation, it closed its doors permanently on April 2nd, 2024. Then, in a spectacular event in the early morning of October 9th, 2024, its two hotel towers with over 1,200 rooms were imploded to clear the way for the future. And what is that future? Bally's Corporation has announced plans to build a $1.5 billion mega project, a brand new 3,000-room integrated resort, right next to a modern Major League Baseball stadium for the Oakland Athletics, scheduled for completion in 2028. And the name of this new resort? Bally's Las Vegas. That's right, the Bally's name will return, but at a different location with a different owner. The disappearance of the Bally's we knew was just a domino in a much larger game between Caesars and Bally's Corporation. For the loyal customers of the old Bally's on the Strip, the locals and WSOP fans who considered it their second home, their memories and loyalty are just a side note. They lost their familiar spot due to a forced rebranding, while the name they loved is about to be reborn elsewhere under a strategy focused on high-end customers and sports fans, as part of a recorded 12% drop in pedestrian traffic. In the end, what are we left with? We have a building in the center of the Las Vegas Strip bearing the name Horseshoe. For Caesars, it still draws crowds because of its fantastic location. But for those who felt comfortable walking through the doors of the old Bally's, Horseshoe is a constant reminder of what was lost. It represents a larger trend in Las Vegas, the shift from providing value to maximizing profit at any cost. The spirit of Benny Binion seems to no longer exist on the Las Vegas Strip, and using his name on a resort that seems to go against everything he stood for feels like a contradiction. Horseshoe Las Vegas may be a new casino, but has erased the soul of Bally's. It took away a place that was imperfect but reliable and replaced it with something that feels empty. The name Bally's will soon return to the Las Vegas Strip in a shiny new form, but it won't be the same. The old building still stands, but the place people remember is gone. For those who love Bally's, this is a final goodbye. The memory remains, but the place is dead. If you're planning a trip to Vegas and want to know the real costs, check out my next video where I break down the budget for a 3-day trip. And if this video was helpful to you, maybe you'll want to subscribe for more content just like it.